got this last 6 acres of second cut to get us finished up for the year, hopefully. It's not real thick, obviously. Bigger is up here, second cut. It has been fertilized this year. I just put some piece over there. This cattle has been running on it. And this got some grass on it, and a little bit of Johnson grass too. A couple weeds here and there. It's pretty clean other than that. Just the Johnson grass seems to come on strong for the second cut. Usually I'll have any first if I get it cut time. So anyway, get back to you when we go to raking baling. Well, heading take 2. Got clean hay, been washed 2 nights in a row. So we'll go set this thing and try it again. Alright, so we're on this last field of 2020 hay, second cut, pretty thin, but I like to keep this hillside cleaned up over the winter. Love to say that's a bunch of Sudex on the ground, but it's not, it's Johnson grass. That's the main reason I like to keep it cleaned up. So we've got this washed twice, the last 2 nights. It's got less than a tenth both nights, but it did get wet both nights, so I'm tending it for the second time. I tended it right before it rained unintentionally. Thursday, today's Friday, Wednesday. So I cut it Tuesday, tended it Wednesday, and it sprinkled basically Wednesday night, and then it rained a little bit last night, so I'm hitting it again. Usually don't have hay on the ground this long. Usually I bale it the next day in the summertime, usually 2 days this time of year. But it is what it is. Some of it would go tomorrow, but we'll let it sit till Sunday and see what it looks like. Just never know what you might find. Yeah, it's a pretty good sized lake bottom. So here we go. Probably can't see any kind of color with the way this camera is, but the grass is still pretty green. You can see that, I'm sure. Stemmy stuff, pretty close, still damp from the rain, but nothing 2 hours of sunshine wouldn't take care of. It may have sun tomorrow, it may bale tomorrow, but we're just going to let it wait till Sunday and see what it looks like. It's not real thick, so it'll dry pretty quick once the sun comes out. No Kentucky jokes. Looks like we lost a tooth, so it is what it is. But anyway, more to come. Anyway, raking this mess. Almost a week on the ground, getting close to it here in another day or 2. Not much of it on the ground, but it's just enough that double raking it's giving me fits. My old V-rake doesn't have a lot of clearance, so I wanted to bunch up. So I just guess I'll do a lot of driving, trying to get to what a few rolls is on here up. Just thought I'd give you an update on that. It really needs to sit another day. It's got a couple green spots in it, but my wife informed me it's supposed to rain all day tomorrow, so we're going to roll it this afternoon one way or another. So stick with us. We'll be back here shortly. Alright, I don't know if you can hear me or not. I forgot my magnet mount in the truck. Obviously not going to go back and get it. Got my little grip mount for my GoPro up here on the sun visor bar. Feel like I'm looking up trying to break my neck. I hope you can see me. I hope you can hear me. I don't know how well that works. It's my first time trying it with this mount. But anyway, shot some drone footage. We'll see how that turns out. It's probably been a year since I've run my drone, so I was having a little bit of hard time with the follow me and the active track, so I was trying to do it by hand. You see I made a really lopsided bale. I'm not in the business of making lopsided bales, but it's really hard to fly and roll hay at the same time. If you've ever tried that, it's a nightmare. So anyway, some of this hay is a little damp, but it's going to rain all day tomorrow. I think I mentioned that earlier. Yeah, don't really have a choice. So the wind kicks up, the sun disappears, then the sun comes out, the wind stops, so I can't really win. We're just going to roll it up. It'll be what it'll be. I hate using that phrase, but it is what it is. Anyway, rolling real easy on a second round here. I didn't think I'd probably get 5 or 6 bales, but I've already kicked out 3, and really just getting started. There's number 4. So bought this baler. I didn't trade for this one. I had a Deere 566 for 2 years before that. All the bells and whistles, net wrap, nice fancy computer monitor. Do everything but roll the hay for you. But didn't really know what I was looking at. Never had a Deere baler before. Didn't really know what I was looking at when I got into it. Probably paid a little too much for it when I got it. Still ended up putting about $3,000 into it, and never could get it to do what I wanted to do exactly. And so I just basically gave up on it. After the second winter of feeding the net wrap, I decided that wasn't my cup of tea. So wasn't any reason to keep an expensive baler around no more than we roll. We might roll 300 to 400 a year. Just depends on the year. So I went back to what I knew, which is New Holland. Of course, I always had New Holland chain balers prior to this one. But man, I can't say anything bad about any of them. Of course, the chain balers will bale anything you can put in them, fence posts, you name it, stuff that you probably don't want to put in it, it'll roll it up. But this one's been no different for me. The Deere, I had to baby it starting to roll. Not this one, man. You just kick a roll out, close the door, and go again. Doesn't care if it's wet, dry, in between, it'll roll it up, rolls it tight. So haven't put a lot into this one. Never replaced one belt or redid all the splices. I say that I didn't rebuild the whole entire sledge roll last year. Put all new gears and bearings in after I lost a bearing and it wiped out 2 of the gears. If you've ever had one of these apart, it is a bear. You almost need a crane to do it. I was lucky enough to have a loader that would lift high enough to take it out the top. But that was a chore. Never having done it before, and it's not a cheap deal. But it's done. Knock on wood. Shouldn't have to worry about that for a while, I hope. Rolling about 5 miles an hour. Could roll a little faster. This ground's a little rough. Kind of a happy medium. The next gear that I've got is a little high on the 2-speed. So looks like I need to get up the hill. I don't have time left to do it. This one will probably be a little lopsided too, talking too much and not paying enough attention. Lopsided enough, it probably won't roll. Didn't hit it with the tailgate. finish and we'll be done. I'm hoping to get about a third of a roll in. I'm hoping to cram this windrow in it, but I don't know if that's going to work out or not. If not, I hope there's enough left to get it to where it'll even kick the little bit of a burrito or whatever's left out of it. Luckily, I didn't clean the glass before I started, so I can't even really see where I'm at back there as far as bale size. About halfway. We're going to be close, I think. Should probably mention, I didn't mention when we got started, today's Sunday, September 27th. 2020, year of the COVID, right? Craziest year in the record, in my memory anyway. Got a big wad here, let's slow down easy. Cross 2 windrows up. And with those, it's definitely not going to make it. Those look huge. Matter of fact, we're almost at a full bale, so we'll kick this one out and hope there's enough to get the next one started, enough to get it out. I don't know. We shall see. And there's the roll. I didn't reset the counter before we started. I've completely lost count in and out so much moving the camera around. I forgot to keep track. If it's a small field, it'll be easy to count what we're doing. You can see most of them in one spot. Alright, we'll get this last, I don't know, 100 yards maybe, probably not even that, to be honest with you. It's got one. Alright, so I think we're recording. My GoPro decided to have a fit on me. Hopefully you can hear me and see me. My red light's blinking anyway. Anyway, we've wrapped it up here. I think, unless I've lost count in one of these low spots, I believe I've got 12. I know I've got 12, maybe 13. Like I might have said before, didn't really need the hay, but hated to let this go and didn't really want to bush hog it. Just doesn't do real good for it in fall and spring. I mean, if winter is just crazy bad, it'll buy me an extra couple weeks or allow me to feed a little, a couple weeks later into the year, into the spring, buy me some time on letting some pasture grow. Past couple winters, we've had a really late shot at drying up where we could get fertilized on grass, so this might help me keep some feed off of it a little longer. That roll I was telling you about earlier, I hope didn't end up in the woods. There it is. Didn't go far. I'll probably be able to snatch that one out. As you can see, it's not the first one that's ever happened to. There's what's left of one from 4 or 5 years ago, probably. That one was just a little too deep to pull out. But anyway, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. Hopefully that one doesn't have a big green spot in it that'll heat up and catch on fire. If you hear about a big brush fire in southern Kentucky, that's probably that bale of hay right there, catching the woods on fire. All right, so until next time.